So, happy warriors and great-grandchildren, how are you today? I had a godsend happen to me. God sent me my solar stuff, the great majority of my solar stuff. I just need the line to go with it, and eventually that'll come in too. You have to ask. You have to ask. Ask and thou shalt receive. Anyhow, you have to be specific about it too and ask. Anyhow, I'm just absolutely amazed, and I'm very grateful 100% for what we have been given here. If you have money in the bank and you're saving it for any reason, well, there's no guarantees it's going to be in there for very much longer. This cold, hard winter coming up, I think at the 1st of September, they're going to cut everybody off probably. We're going to make it really hard for everybody. Because if you don't have a Vax Pass, you might not be able to buy groceries. So, you should take some of that money and buy some food. I mean, you do whatever you want to with your money, but if you have any saved up, that's what I'd be doing with it. I'd be buying some extra food so I could last throughout the winter. And then of course I got my solar stuff, but I have to put it on the roof now, so that's a whole different story. God said, okay, this is what you wanted. Now do it. Yeah, I suppose I could do it by myself. I'm gonna have to have Manny's gonna have to help, because it might take me a while if I did it by myself. Of course, I have a really intelligent daughter that can build things and invent stuff, so she could help also. She still has the majority of her brain. She didn't get herself screwed up with any kind of weird mRNA. Yeah, I feel sorry for my youngest. She did that to herself, and she's just trying to blame her brain problems on everything else but that. And that's what the bad guys want. They just want everybody that's been mRNA'd to think that it's something else. And then when they die of prions disease after a while, because their brain got eaten away with this mRNA synthetic piece of patented technology that's attached to the genome. Right, that replicates and keeps replicating. And then those guys are the super spreaders. Yeah. So, no, I cry. It hurts me to cry, so I can't cry. It physically hurts me to cry. It's painful. It hurts. So I can't have a conversation with her anymore. She made fun of me. She made fun of me in front of her family, my grandchildren, and anybody else that was hanging out. And the reason she did that was because she wants to be right about it all. She doesn't want her problems to be the mRNA that she shot herself with twice, or she lined up to get shot. Yep, that's what you do, huh? You have a kid that's in the 99th percentile for intelligence, and they shoot themselves with an mRNA. And then they want to blame their brain problems on everything else except for what they did. It's like, Mom, are you sure you are ADD? Are you sure you're not autistic? Are you sure you're not this? Are you sure all of this stuff? Weren't you ever diagnosed with... No, darling, I was not. You can be in denial if you'd like to be in denial, but if you're having problems because of the mRNA, then I think you should use yourself as an example for others and let them know what not to do. I know there's people that are embarrassed to talk about it because they did it to themselves and now they want to hide. Well, they need to come out of hiding to save the rest of what's left of humanity. Humans are an endangered species. Claim your place. Claim your place. And this POTUS that's not my president, yeah, stand your ground. No masks. No lockdowns. Yeah, I don't care about the masks necessarily. That doesn't bother me as much just because I know a little bit about those things. I use the mask to keep my dad safe. From when I had COVID and I survived and God handed me the quinine. I had the zithromycin already, but he handed me, or she handed me, they, the gods, look it up, it's in Genesis, it says gods. We made them in our image, right? That's right. So, I need to go eat breakfast. My blood sugar. But this is not my POTUS guy. Who knows what's really going to happen? They have this whole thing planned, you know. They already had this thing planned. So whatever their next move is, they still have it all planned. And they want to get us upset so we go out in the street and we have another 1-6 situation so they can round us all up like they're doing in Australia. And, yeah, we're not. We still have all our pew-pews, so what? All we have to do is just hang out, stay home, and stay out of the way, and not get involved in any street BS. So, yeah. So stay out of the streets. We don't have to go get into the streets until we absolutely have to. And once we absolutely have to, then that's how it'll be. But we don't need to go before then. Okay. But they want us to. They've done everything they could to make that happen. They put that little cutesy, I don't know, it was born a male, but it's dressed up like a female in the White House with the little red-headed spokesperson for the POTUS guy. You know, they've done that stuff. They're trying to rile us up any way they can. They got our people surrounded over in Afghanistan at that airport. They're not getting our people out. They did everything backwards. They want to upset us to the point that we do stuff so that they can do what they want. We're not going to do that. We're not going to let them do that. We're not getting baited into this BS situation that, like what's happening in Australia. They're putting them in. They're going to put them on. They're going to round them all up and put them all in camps. I mean, those people better fight their way out, because if they don't, and then the only reason, like I said, they haven't done us, and they would have done it to us a while back if not for this. There's enough of us. I don't know how many millions. There's probably one at least for every person that's living in the United States. I think it's twice as much or more than twice as much now as when this guy took office. Yep. So we don't have to do anything except for stand our ground right where we are, because there's enough of us all over inside the United States right now. I know for a fact in my neighborhood, we better not have any problems here with any rabble-rousers, because they be having a hard time. I mean, I live in northern Nevada. It's a whole lot different than southern Nevada. We're mountain people up here, and we're still, for the most part, a whole bunch of us old timers are mountain people. And the way that we grew up, the majority of us, and we do have enough of the good old boys still. Yeah, they might have snuck in a Democrat governor and a Democrat legislature while we weren't looking. Doesn't mean anything. What? She's not giving it to you. Doesn't matter how much you cry about it. Oh, she just did. Oh, look. Well, that was nice. Lunchy. I'll take a picture. I'll take a video of them later. So, you know, we're going to have to take care of ourselves anyway. And we're going to have to educate the new people that are coming into the United States of America to the fact that they came here. They better stand with us, because if they don't, they're just our replacement slaves. They came from a tyrannical dictatorships, so they're used to it. And so I guess maybe they figure that if they get rid of everybody here that's not used to being overlorded by a dictator, they can have an easier time of keeping track of the slaves in that way. Oh, the education system. We still have to talk about that again. Can you imagine? I have a whole big soapbox because of what happened to my children, and who had the most private education, and who had to get tutored because they got the public indoctrination says the government indoctrination centers, which some people call the schools. Yeah, they keep our kids in there long enough. If they get them when they're 3, which is what they hope to do next, get them when they're 3, then you can forget it. Now, once you train a kid in the way that they're supposed to go before they are 5, then that's kind of how they're going to be for the rest of their lives. But we get a hold of them when they're 3. If the indoctrination centers do that to the children, then you can kiss it off. They're just going to be, well, they're not being taught anything. Reading, writing, and arithmetic, they're not being taught that anymore. They're being taught sex tricks. Yeah. They're being taught all kinds of nice little trafficking things. They're being groomed for their positions in life. What are those positions going to be? I probably shouldn't say anything more about, because I can make jokes about it, but it wouldn't be very funny. What kind of sex tricks and positions are they going to be taught? You know, because they're in there twerking. Let's learn how to twerk. Let's learn how to do all this stuff. They get pre-sexualized. We know what that's like. And the majority of the people, the great majority, have been pre-sexualized. So they're just teaching our children how to be good little sex slaves. A bunch of them will be sex slaves. And that's what they want anyway, the oligarchies. They don't care, they just need warm bodies. They need humans for certain reasons. So you figure out what reasons those are, and what are they teaching them in school if they're not teaching them reading, writing, and arithmetic? If they're just having story hour with a twerking, weird-ass clown, that's teaching them, pre-sexualizing them, grooming them for later on in life, and their slave jobs as some kind of sex slave, or what? Reminds me of those cute little Oriental, Asian boys and girls that I see inundating the Twitter feeds, hashtags, with their little dance moves, and then they put a spotlight on one of them or so. What about those children? Anyhow, I think that's it. That's all. It's all. Yeah. We can make our children anything we want them to be. And what do we as parents want our children to grow up to be like? Oh, we're going to let the government, indoctrination centers, have our children's minds when they're 3. Why are we having children if that's how it's going to be? Well, they'll be breeders. Of course, they're changing all the terminology. And if the breeders won't cooperate, they'll just do test tube babies. They'll get their warm bodies somehow. They'll get the blood they need, the body parts they need from those unborn or full-term babies that they're aborting now, with live heartbeats, and that they're, yeah, you just don't want me to be talking about that. I need to get my bullhorn out. Well, if I wasn't dealing with the long haulers COVID syndrome, I'd be doing better. You get to be my age and an old great grandma, and it's a lot harder to deal with everything. Kind of, you're at the mercy of the oligarchies. Well, I don't know why I survived. I don't know why God put that quinine water in my hand. That helped me make it through all of what I made it. I mean, I have survived for some reason. Who really knows why? There might be one reason. That still has to come to fruition. But it's amazing to me that I'm a walking miracle. I really am. Today, it's so smoky out here, I need to go inside. Anyhow, much love, happy warriors and great-grandchildren. Ask, and thou shalt receive. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. So saith the Lord. Is that in the Bible? Look it up. It's probably in the Bible. And then be specific when you ask. Specific. Now I'm looking for the right and perfect line that goes with all of the solar equipment that I just got sent. It's a godsend. I had to pay a little bit for it, but not near what I would have had to have paid. But I just went out and bought it all brand new. And this guy just happened to have it. They're all moving out. They bought it for their house, but now they're not going to live there, so okay, I'll take it all. Now I just have to ask for the right electrical lines and whatever else I need to go with it. I don't know what that is exactly, but I'm just going to ask for the right and perfect thing. Everything else, whatever other equipment I need to go with that, so I can set it up on my house and have solar power. Because because I got the battery backup thing too, and the inverter thing, and I have a whole bunch of stuff that's really awesome. I just have to put it up on the building now, and then I have to have the right stuff to go with it. So I need some electrical line, the right kind of electrical line to go with it, and so I have to ask for those things, and we'll see what happens. But you know, don't tempt the Lord thy God. I think that one's in the Bible too. This is just as an example. This happens all the time to me. It's the power of manifestation. Usually I help other people out, not myself. It's usually for other people. And I've been doing this place around here, not exactly for me, because I don't plan on being around here that many more years. But it's for somebody. It's for my family. My daughter's gonna have all this when I get done with it. The one that didn't wreck herself with an mRNA. So yeah, so we'll just keep asking, and we'll be grateful, because I am grateful, even if I had to pay a little bit for it. I mean, wasn't that much compared to what it could have been. That's why I call it a godsend. Those are one of those things. Those are godsend, and I get a lot of godsends sometimes that I never have to pay anything for. They just get given to me, dropped in my lap, because I have it in my mind. It's like you have to know what it is that you want, and you have to like have pictures of it, which is what I have been doing. I've been shopping online for these things. So I'm going, okay, well then, and I didn't jump on anything, because it's like, okay, I get this thing, you know, it says, well, just wait a little bit. Well, just wait a little bit. It's not exactly the right one. Okay, and then this pops up like 5 minutes before I look at this thing, which I really don't ever look at this thing, but then I looked at it, so I must have been prompted by my higher source to do this. So I looked at it, I go, oh my God, really? Do you still, can I? Ooh. All right, I'll be over in a minute. First come, first get. So that's what happened. That's what happened. That's what can happen. Sometimes that first thing that you're looking at might not be the right one you're supposed to get. You might get a better deal if you wait a little bit, maybe. Till that you get the right one that just drops right in your lap and you know that's the one. It was so funny. About Manny's new gold car, and it's pretty. I like it. It's cute. It's nice looking. It's older. He's been working on it, but he wanted a different one to start with, and I think the other one was more money. And then this one, I'm going, okay, and he was all worried about not being able to get it, and I'm going, don't worry, it'll be there when you get there. Because the damn thing was literally hidden. I don't know how many people could have actually have found it. Maybe they would have, but it was definitely a puzzle and a maze to get there. And I totally was not even worried about it at all. It's like, but he was. It's like, chill out. Now that's how I am. I'm more meditative about it. I like doing it that way. I don't like having to deal with being pushed and rushed, and you know, if it's like that, it can't be right. Lunchy, get out of there. You don't need to get in there. The potato patch is not your place. Yeah, that's not your place. The potato patch is not your place to play. Okay, happy warriors and great-grandchildren, have a great day. Stand your ground. Don't get mRNA'd if you can help it, because Chances of survival are nil to none. It might take a couple of years. Don't try to blame it on everything else besides the mRNA if that's what you got. And if that's what you got and you're having problems now that you didn't have before, please share that with everybody. In your neighborhood, locally, anywhere you go. Just talk, 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 talk. Keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. That's right. They think social media, I gotta tell you, word of mouth. That's why I went to the doggy park. That's right. Because there's a lot of people at the doggy parks, and you can talk a lot. And then, you know, it's like group therapy out there. Yes, we need to have some kind of therapy, group therapy, and you know, we still have doggy parks and we can still go walk our dogs. We don't have to put a mask on out there. There are places we can still go and hang out and talk. Talk, 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 keep talking. And then you meet 50 people at a doggy park. Well, not one doggy park, but you never know. There's not exactly 50 people, but if you hang out long enough, you could. At this one doggy park especially. Yep. So keep talking. Find excuses. If you have the energy just to do a little bit, just plant 5 seeds in 5 different brains. Yep. Anyway, I gotta go. Much love, happy warriors and great grandchildren. Stay safe. Stay human. Claim your status as one of the endangered species if you are. Join up. Together, we are strong.